Okay, so remember, they're changing my voice before I get into page 4. It's actually page 4, and just a little bit of page 5 is going to end it a little bit over 4 pages in this short book, which gives you all you need to know that I'm the top martial artist, to know that I am the Son of God, and to know that I speak sense and truth. I want to remind you that we live in a time where people play stupid. Playing stupid is at an all-time high. They call it gaslighting. Okay, and they're literally fueling me or gassing me, and they're shining bright lights, and I have many pictures and videos that prove this definitively. All right. So when you ask yourself, hey, why is he going over this? Because people at this time, they don't admit that generational ill-gotten gains disqualifies them. They don't admit that they should stop breeding. I mean, for someone with sense, this is obvious. Okay. And they don't admit basic concepts of morality. Yet there are still people being force medicated in psych wards all over the world. Okay, it is rather disturbing. So points of references for injustice. 1. Do you admit that it is wrong to go to a store owned by a kind old woman and rob her, sexually assault her, and then walk off saying, oh, evil does not exist because they cannot prove scientifically that there is a God? There are plenty of corporate people, New Age people, atheist people, whose argument is so close to this, it is unbelievable. While they know that criminality and evil, rape and murder, and so on is taking place on a large scale. Okay, so they're basically arguing that morality is subjective, while all kinds of people are tortured, little kids are abused, 1 in 4 little girls are sexually molested here in America. Okay, and it's probably similar in countries all over the world, a similar rate. So we have to literally start out with this question because other people are that far gone. Okay, yes, it is wrong. Okay, and you don't have to scientifically prove God exists to know that being immoral is pitiful. 2. Do you admit that it is wrong for the West to sabotage all the nations on the planet while intermarrying with the Eastern governing class to create a powerful global alliance or powerful global alliances? Is it more wrong for them to turn around and say, just blame the Jews, or blame just the Jews, or to blame the LGBT community, or China, or Russia? 3. Does it matter if they are intermarried or not if the plan is the same? Okay, so these people have created powerful global alliances, and they're treating people unfairly. They're sabotaging everybody and their nations, and they're acting like crazed pirates, sexual sadists, and assorted demons. It doesn't matter if you believe me that they're in some kind of sex cult and they're intermarrying with the other governing class people and treating people unfairly, because what they're doing is pure evil and wrong. 4. When all developed nations worked hard for generations to make all attractive females materialistic, while they often coerce females in underdeveloped nations, can one really call sex with attractive females consensual? No, because other people have been slacking their work. They've been cheating me out of my right to lead when I am the only sane solution, which means they've been contributing to insanity in their respective positions, which creates a certain chaos and confusion, and people don't know what to do. We have to go to the most righteous person that ever lived. That is me. You must come together with me and form a moral committee, okay, and then say, hey, what is the right thing to do? And we know that part of the right thing to do is to stop breeding. We know part of the right thing to do is to give me my right to lead and the other things that I talk about in my videos. Okay? So it's a no-brainer. When people do not do that, it is evil. And sex with attractive females is not consensual. Consent, right? Consent. They're conning people and not telling the truth. Okay? And they're brainwashing them for generations and using powerful psychology when they're born and after, okay, to make sure that they sleep with people who are scum. This is 100% proven for sure. All right, anyway, where was I? And you can imagine there are people who are dumb enough to deny this, who are alive right now. 5. If someone is the top martial artist ever possible and they sabotage him and pretend he is not, even going to the pathetic level of pretending he is crazy, does all society owe him? If yes, how much more do attractive females and the rich? Is it his call who is attractive in regards to how they could make it up to him, or theirs? Okay? So all of society is playing stupid. Okay? And people are pretending by their actions. If you believed in your heart, in your soul, in your mind, that I'm the top martial artist ever, and that the world is evil, which it obviously is, would you then cheat me out of my right to lead, or would you rally to me? So by them not rallying to me and obeying God through me, they're pretending that I'm not. So they all owe me. Okay? Why attractive females are sleeping with scum. So attractive women especially owe me. In fact, the word martial is marital scrambled. And I'm Christ, the Christos, the anointed one, the bridegroom. 6, if people make and see the parable of the tenants, if you don't understand, and the Song of Solomon. If people become millionaires and billionaires from their participation in a purely evil global system that turns out the world, is not their money blood money? Should one really have to explain how collective guilt can be a valid concept and how complicity works for them to admit it? If they deny this logic, should they not also get penalized for obstructing justice and their part in causing people to suffer? If they cry communism and national security instead of responding in a fair way, should they not burn in hell? And everyone rolling with them. 7, have they not cursed their offspring? 8, should groups that are more guilty than others be highlighted, or should you pretend all races and nations share in the blame to make a bunch of big babies feel better? They share in the blame equally, right? They don't, okay? And to make a bunch of social club scum and childish geek organized rapists feel more secure. So obviously, the white, the Jew, and the LGBT community are from the West that colonized the fucking world. Even in China, the ruling party is the Communist Party. So yes, they're the most guilty, and their own Bible says judge people according to their deeds. Okay? Should I not do so? Make a bunch of baby, I'm a white supremacist, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, I'm a Jew. I don't want to hear it, I'm gay. You know what I'm saying? It's stupid. Yes, they should own up to it. Try being a man for once in their fucking histories. Anyway. Where was I? All right. Sayings that should be in the Bible as they are more direct, and even a child should be able to come up with them. 1. When one is the offspring of the wicked and they have no valid redeemer, it is better for them to die than to continue their ill-gotten life. Okay? It is better for you who are the offspring of the wicked after I die to die than continue your wicked life, because your very life is wicked. And all who remain after I die are the offspring of the wicked, but my parents are blameless. That's how it stands right now, and no one, no matter what, should reproduce. No one should reproduce. 2. People who come from a long line of people who cheated the Royal African Falcon top martial artist out of his right to lead, and his valid offspring, you know, the person who occupied that position in reality every generation, okay? Generally must search harder to find the Redeemer. This is part of justice. Let me read this again. People who come from a long line of people who cheated the Royal African Falcon top martial artist out of his right to lead and his valid offspring generally must search harder to find the Redeemer. This is part of justice. That's why people across the world who don't know who I am are also guilty, because they bred away from the moral alpha center. It's like a split in the evolutionary chart, where some primates didn't get that far in evolution. Why? Because they split away from the Royal African Falcon genome, genes that would eventually become the top genes in society. And then a bunch of sniveling worms betrayed them in the Homo sapien race, if you will. All right, where was I here? One should put sex, excuse me, number 1. One who puts sex and delusion over planning to have children who are brought to God has not married a wife, but a dumb slut. Why didn't she see it in him? So if you put having sex and your emotions and your delusion over bringing your children to God when you get married, okay, and you marry a female, you did not marry a wife, but a dumb slut. Why didn't her dumb ass see that you're a bitch? Like, I have to explain this. 4, an attractive female that does not put the valid top martial artist ever over all other people and their demands is like a gold ring in a retarded pig's snout. Again, I tell you, an attractive female that does not put the valid top martial artist ever, which is me, over all other people and their demands is like a gold ring in a retarded pig's snout. Why stop there? Why not put dogs over me? Why not put fleas over me? Why not put the elite over me who are beneath fleas? Why stop there, you dumb fucking bitch? Starting to get it yet? 5. A rich female that sticks her nose up at the top martial arts ever is more stupid than a slug with an aluminum foil chain snobbing the fastest falcon ever that God has made his messenger. What don't you get, you rich hussies? You vicious tarts. Anyway, where was I? 6. The touch of one outside the divine martial artist order is spiritual. Okay, the touch of one outside the divine martial artist order is spiritually filthy and a profound curse. Only a useless slut craves it. 7. A female that tries to defend herself from the truth-based insults of a wise man by citing grammar is just a dumb female dog. Know that immediately. 8. The other people who lived during my time are to blame for their offspring's despicable lives to a large degree. Childish theater art games and their lack of a valid redeemer, as they were just focusing on flesh and ignoring logic. I have to shoot this almost out of time. 9. To be shallow is to be a complete idiot. No college degree could ever change that. 10. The woman who does not immediately submit to the top martial arts ever is a complete whore to her very essence. In a just society, she would be stoned to death. 11. Females who choose conformity over a morally precise character have chosen stupidity over hope. Good parents disown them immediately. How much more will God? Okay, again, the woman who does not immediately submit to me is a complete whore to her very essence, because I'm the top martial artist ever possible. And in a just society, she would be stoned to death. The hell she's doing in her life? She's not going to listen to the wisest person ever, one who God put there to lead, morality through nature put there to lead. I'm a dumb bitch. I'll listen to myself. That's fucking retarded. Anyway, 11. Females who choose conformity over morally precise character. I went over that already. Females who choose conformity over morally precise character have chosen stupidity over hope. Good parents disown them. How much more will God? 12. Loyalty to the top martial arts ever possible is loyalty to God. However, know that it is outdoor sparring and not the bloodbath of cage fighting that has overkilled who I am. 13. Outdoor sparring comes from God through nature and declares his glory like the heavens when it is done right. Sparring has shown us the divine order, transferable skills for the spirit world, and actual physical combat. It also shows us the spirit prioritization, cause, insight, and sense, sound judgment, mental clarities, course and God's speed, light contact, discipline, heart, timing, will, speed, honor, brain power, love, passion, and all the other martial art principles God passed down to his son, whom he set apart as the top martial artist ever. God is a warrior, and his son is a warrior, and not in any fairy or theater art sense. The top martial artist ever possible is me. I am naturally sharp, and that is why it is called the sharp double-edged sword of Scripture. The word sharp is like the word harp. Harp with an E is a sickle-shaped sword, and martial is marital scramble for a reason. Know this, as when your ancestors betrayed you, you will know it was with foolishness and a broadsword, so to speak, as it was with a sharp sword and skywalking footwork that they were cut down, or that you were cut down as well. People like me warned them and even pleaded with them to not send their own offspring to hell, as they were and are obviously defying God and rebelling against the martial art order. So who really loved you, or at least tried to love you? Okay, and you can always read this off the screen too. Victory quickly summarized. A, the globalist and governing class complicity, as they are the leaders of the other martial artists and their schools on the planet, and they work together to cheat me, all others are disqualified. If David had cheated Goliath, could he then claim victory is of God? Could he then claim his victory is of God? This is why Jesus said he came to bring a sword and also divine fire. The divine fire is the consuming fire of the Spirit of God, which forges character. B, they could not beat me even though they were covertly poisoning and fuming me. The challenge itself proved I am victorious, and God's Spirit is my spirit. Editing my videos overkilled it, as they tried to make it seem like I am like them, which I'm not. How much more pathetic are their spirits now that they went down to that low level? As Revelation 19 connects to 1 Samuel 17 and Psalm 19, we clearly see that from their own Western cultural perspective, I am the bridegroom, the champion, and the Son of God. Western culture was historically Judeo-Christian. When you remove their hypocrisies, you see that they should have obeyed me. No female had a right to reject me. Their pathetic and heartless insolence led to me
led to me being shunned. It was white Jews and LGBT community that were the main reason they shunned me. They failed to have a virtuous and brave enough heart to defy those child molesters and allies.